All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be talking about making money online,
Okay.
specifically using social media in 2025.
Right.
We're looking at an article called Three Websites to Make Money from Home in 2025. And I got to say, I'm already seeing some really interesting, maybe even overlooked opportunities here.
Yeah.
I think what's really exciting to me about this article is how it's kind of pushing us to think differently about social media. It's not just scrolling anymore. It's about creating and sharing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think it's about taking what you know and turning your expertise into something that can generate income, especially for someone like you, always eager to learn new things and explore new things. This shift from consumer to creator could be really powerful.
Absolutely. And the article highlights three main platforms for doing just that.
Okay.
YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So let's start with YouTube, which they kind of sum up with the tagline, your creativity, your channel. But honestly, I'm curious about going beyond those general statements.
Yeah.
Like, what are some specific areas on YouTube that are really taking off? Maybe even some unexpected niches.
Yeah, you're right. It's about finding those less crowded spaces. For example, educational content is huge on YouTube, but if you drill down further, you find some really interesting trends. Think about the rise of edutainment. Channels that combine education with entertainment, like those history explainer videos or science experiments.
Okay.
Or like hyper niche tutorials, like teaching a specific coding language.
Yeah.
Or a unique crafting skill. You can tap into a dedicated audience if you find the right niche.
You mentioned tutorials, and I see the article talks about faceless tutorials as an option.
That's interesting.
Creating content without actually being on camera.
Right, it's almost like you're removing a barrier for people who might be hesitant to put themselves out there. Exactly. Screencasts, animation, video editing software, these are all tools that allow you to share your knowledge without being front and center. And honestly, this approach can sometimes be even more effective, letting the information speak for itself.
I bet that appeals to the learner persona. They're all about gaining knowledge. And this way, they could potentially share their knowledge without the pressure of being in the spotlight.
Okay, so the article's call to action for YouTube is start your channel now. Which I kind of have to push back a little bit on that. Is rushing into it really the best approach?
I mean, while enthusiasm is important, starting strategically is key. What are your strengths and interests? What unique perspective can you bring? Don't just jump on the latest trend. Think about long-term sustainability. Research your niche, understand the algorithm, and really think about your target audience.
That makes a lot of sense. So moving on from the world of video, the article highlights LinkedIn with the tagline, professional growth at your fingertips. But it feels like LinkedIn is often underestimated, pigeonholed as just a job searching platform. Absolutely, LinkedIn is about building your professional brand. Think about showcasing your work, writing insightful articles, engaging in relevant discussions, and even offering your services. The platform's also got LinkedIn Learning, which can be valuable both for your own development and for establishing yourself as an expert in your field.
Join LinkedIn and expand your network is their call to action. It seems pretty straightforward, but I think people sometimes miss the true potential of networking on LinkedIn. It's not just about collecting connections. It's about building meaningful relationships that can lead to collaborations, clients, and even speaking engagements.
I completely agree. It's about being active, engaging with content, and providing value to your network. The more you contribute, the more visibility you gain. And that can open up some really interesting opportunities.
Finally, we get to Facebook with monetize your social presence. Now, Facebook seems to have a whole ecosystem for turning your activity into income. I'm curious to explore that a bit further.
Facebook's got a multifaceted approach to monetization. You can sell directly through Marketplace or create your own shop. You can boost posts to reach a wider audience. And then there's the whole world of becoming a creator or influencer, partnering with brands, and leveraging sponsored content.
I'm really intrigued by that creator or influencer route,
Yeah.
especially tying it back to what we discussed earlier about shifting from passive consumption to active creation. What advice would you give someone who's thinking about going down that path on Facebook?
I think building a community is crucial on Facebook. Engage with your followers, respond to comments, create content that sparks conversations. And remember, authenticity is key. People can spot a fake from a mile away, focus on building genuine connections, and providing value, and you'll be surprised by the opportunities that come your way.
Monetize your Facebook today is their call to action. And while that might sound a bit pushy, I do think it speaks to the sense of possibility on the platform. There are so many ways to leverage your skills and interests to generate income.
And what's interesting is that Facebook, unlike a platform like YouTube, allows you to monetize more directly through things like selling products. So it really caters to a different type of entrepreneur.
It's like the article says, transform your scroll into gold. And that brings us to a question for you, the listener. Out of these three platforms, which one speaks to you the most? Where do you see the biggest opportunity based on your existing skills and interests?
Think about the type of content you'd enjoy creating and the audience you want to reach. Don't be afraid to experiment, to try different approaches and platforms until you find the one that feels right.
So there you have it. Turning your social media activity into a source of income is absolutely within reach. It's about taking action, choosing your platform, and consistently providing value to your audience. Let them make that scroll work for you, and most importantly, have fun along the way.